What's up guys, MOTHMAN here. So one question I get a lot about MODOK is how to execute his TAC cube combos. So these aren't infinites, but they're really damaging combos that build 9 cubes in the corner, 7 cubes mid-screen, and then you can spend a bar on his beam super to do a ton of damage. So I want to start by just reminding of a couple basic things about TACs in general, which is when you do a TAC combo, you're put into a state where hit stun deterioration is temporarily disabled, meaning that all of your moves are going to do their full amount of hit stun for the whole combo. So one thing that's important for this with MODOK is when you do an air cube, you can link his jump L and jump M after it. See? So you can link those two normals after a cube. They do a ton of hit stun, so you kind of have plenty of time to do your links and stuff. So this is going to be used a lot in all of these versions. So let's get into it. I'm going to explain the corner down one first. All right, so the starter is pretty simple. It's just jump M into M cube. Okay, and then after that, we're going to do LM H cube, except his L is multi-hit, so you just want to get one hit of it. It's going to kind of look like that. All right, so M cube, LM H cube. All right, so then for the next part, you're going to do a jumping M and cancel that into air dash up and do L, M. And this time we're going to get a few hits of the L. The goal is basically you want to get 4 to 5 hits, somewhere around there depending on the body type, so that when you do the M, it's going to drop you down a bit and you're going to cancel into fly and end up a little below them. So it looks like this. See, when I flew, I was at the perfect height relative to him. You want to be below like that, because the next part, we're going to use a lot of jump M and H cube, which both hit pretty high up. All right, so yeah, for the flight part, this is actually the same for the up and down versions, and the side one is similar, so this is important. So for the flight combo, you're going to fly, and then you're going to do M, H cube 4 times. Like that. And then after that, you're going to do M, L cube, all in a row. And then the ender is 1 hit of L into S, which is like that. All right, so let's just try up to the flight part. Right, so that's the whole thing, and then you can go into your super. Basically, you can see how their height starts pretty high up, and then throughout the combo, they kind of drop lower and lower. You want them to eventually end up below you, because this jump L has a pretty downwards hitbox. It hits like even lower than where the animation looks, and jumping S as well, obviously. The hitbox is big, but it's going to hit down there as well. All right, so the last trick to getting this down is that you actually have a little more hit stun than you need, right? During the TAC, the cube is going to do a lot of hit stun, and you can delay your M into H cube, you can delay between cubes in order to drop them down lower if you need to. So this is kind of what that looks like. I'm going to try to delay as much as I can. Yeah, so you can fix the height. Basically do your cancels and your links closer together if you need them to remain high up, and space them out more. Delay your cancels and links if you need them to drop down. You'll just get a feel for this over time, but if you're having a problem with the height, that's basically one of your 2 problems is going to be those things. So now let's just see the whole thing. Yeah, so keep in mind after those high cube beam supers, you can solo link an OTG crouch M into beam and get another super. Now, if their health drops low enough for the hyper battering ram super to kill this one on its own, you want to do that every time, because since you've built up so many cubes, you want to save those for big barrier and jamming bomb and all that good stuff. All right, so that's the down version. Now the up version is similar, right? We're going to use the same flight part, but the starter's a little different because your height relative to them is different when you come in for an up TAC. So after the initial TAC hit, you're just going to do a slightly delayed L cube. Like that. All right. And see, I was a little above him. So this time we're going to do one hit of L into M and then M cube. And we're going to end up at the same height. See that? It's basically perfectly lined up. So then from there, it's actually the same as the down one, right? So we're going to do another, actually it's slightly different because there's an extra L, but the idea is the same. You do LM, air dash up, LM for a few hits, fly, and then it's the same. So the only thing that's different is after the second cube, I'm now doing an LM instead of just M by itself. But that's just kind of a height thing, just something you have to memorize for the up version. So yeah, given that the flight part is the same, let's see the whole up version, what that looks like. Right, and also keep in mind that this is going to end up doing more damage overall when you do a full normal combo with your other character before TACing. So chances are you're going to build a ton of bar, get 9 cubes, and be able to kill with 0 bars, 1 bar, or a DHC or something, and basically find a way to hang on to all those cubes. So that's one of the things that's really strong about this TAC combo. Alright, so the up one, you can see the basic idea is different starter, flight part is the same. Remember your delays on the cancels and links, or doing them close together depending on if you want to keep them high up or drag them down. And then the side one, there's one extra trick that we need to learn, but I'm just going to show you the starter first. So for the side one, the starter is delayed jump H, delayed L cube. So they're both pretty heavily delayed, and this is how we're going to switch sides. Like that, okay? So I'm saying delayed relative to the initial TAC hit. So you wait a bit, H, and then even that has a lot of hits done, so you can delay a bit more, L cube. Okay, so now the challenge is, I'm this far away from the corner. Now we need to make up all this distance, so how are we going to do that? So it's H, L cube, and then after that you're going to do 1 or 2 hits of L into L cube. Depending on their body size. If it's a really small body like Zero, Raccoon, Arthur, I recommend just doing 1 hit of L because it's the most consistent. But on normal body types, you can do like 2 to 3 hits, and that's fine. But yeah, so delayed H, delayed L cube, L, L cube. Okay? And then after this, it's kind of the same. We're going to do that same link as the up version, which is LM dash LM, and let the second L play out for more. But the one thing here is, since we're trying to make up all this horizontal distance and get back into the corner, when you cancel this into air dash, you're not going to go straight up. We're going to go up forward because it's going to make up some of that distance. All right. Right, so now we're this far from the corner, we're almost there, and now the flight part is the same as up and down plus one little trick. So I'm going to show you what it looks like first and then explain the trick. So you see I ended up making back all that distance that we lost from the side TAC. We're back in the corner. We got all 9 cubes. So everything works. There's just a couple extra things you need to be aware of. So one is you squeeze in that last air dash at the very end, right, to get closer. I'm doing dash and then instantly LS. The other potential issue that can happen and why we need this other trick is because you might run out of flight time. From the extra air dash and stuff that you need. It's just a little different, kind of subtle, but Basically, the technique that you need to know for this is you can fly and then input a button by itself. See what I did there? So let me clear the inputs. Right? Quarter circle back, S, and then with roughly plink timing, H, or you can do it with any other button. And what that's going to do is flight into cube. You're basically using the same quarter circle from the flight for the cube. So just blending that together. So you can do this, for example, after a jump M. So we're doing M fly H cube just with one quarter circle. And the reason this is important is because so far we've been doing M fly M, and just that little extra bit of time might make this drop or might make you not have enough time for the air dash. So instead we're going to use this technique after the part that's like LM air dash LM. Like that, when you fly, you're going to do the M fly H cube. So it's just a timing thing. It's kind of lenient, right? I can do it like right next to each other. Or you can space it out. Just not too much, because then that jumping H comes out. But yeah, just do like flight, and then shortly after, button. Alright, so here it is again. So if you do it with that technique, it's going to give you plenty of time to delay your M into cubes and all that stuff that you normally need to do. And it's also going to give you extra time for that air dash. So yeah, the side one is a little more complicated, but I hope this is clear. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments. Let's just do it one more time. Alright, so the mid-screen ones are going to use the same techniques pretty much that we've seen so far, but the difference is you can only reliably get 7 cubes mid-screen. Now, there are combos that build all 9, but they're very specific on spacing and timing and even body types. I've seen it done on like 0, but I haven't really found this to be consistent in my own play. If anyone knows or can find a consistent way to get all 9 mid-screen, please let me know. But so far, what I'm working with is 7 cubes, which is still pretty good. All right, so let's start with the down one. The starter is going to be jumping H into L cube. So you can just dial that in right after the first TAC hit. And then after that, you're going to do L into L cube. Like that. 1 to 2 hits of L is fine. Okay, and then after that, you're going to do the same LM, air dash up forward, LM. Now, similar to the side one, this is where we need to use that technique of blending the flight and the cube quarter circle together. So after the air dash up forward, LM, I'm going to do flight H to get an H cube. And then the actual cube part looks a little different because the M is going to push them away mid-screen a little more. So we have to change what that looks like. But I'll show you. Alright, so what's going on? Air dash up, LM, fly, H. So that's going to get you jumping M, flight, H cube. And then you can get one more jump M. So we're going to do M, H cube, and then you just do your 3 to finish it off. M, M, L cube, air dash, LS. Right. And then in the mid-screen down version, you're going to end up very close to them after the knockdown. So you can just do like dash, crouch M, laser, super. They're a little lower down, so I might need to let more hits of the jumping L hit. Yeah, you want them nice and high up like that. Alright, so that's what that looks like. And then additionally with the mid-screen versions, all versions, if you don't want to deal with the knockdown at all, you can just cancel the last cube into super, and it still does about the same damage. A little less, but it's more consistent. Right, so still a lot of damage, leaves you full screen. Usually can kill for a bar, depending on the combo. But yeah, so that's the down version. For the up version, it's really similar, but up and side for the starter, you can get, instead of just H by itself, you can get MH, and then it's pretty much the same. Yeah, so here's that starter. And from that point, it's literally the same as the down one. And side is literally the same as up. Same combo. You might have to adjust the height a little bit with the jumping L, but it's the same. Now, if you want to get really fancy for the up and side ones, you can optimize a little bit. This is kind of like extra credit, but just to show you that it's there, you can do, after the last cube, you do dash LS for the knockdown, and then on the ground, when you land, you have to do dash, tri-dash, crouch M, L blaster. So really fast, it looks like this. Alright, so here's what that looks like. So that's pretty much it, guys. I hope this was helpful and clear. If not, let me know down in the comments. I can always try to explain things better, or if there's other issues that come up. These are kind of more complicated, and all the versions are different and stuff, so let me know. And yeah, thanks. Have a good one.